trying of your faith, testing of your faith. To test faith under pressure, faith on the test is faith that is being developed or maturing. The testing is to enable maturity. It's not to destroy you, it's to enable maturity. Finally, when we could not stand it no longer, we decided to stay alone in Athens. The Apostle Paul is speaking. And we sent Timothy to visit you. He is our brother and God co-worker in proclaiming the good news of Christ. The gospel, it is what King James says. We sent him to strengthen you, to encourage you in your faith, and to keep you from being shaken by the troubles you are going through. Strengthen your faith and to keep you from being shaken by the troubles you're going through. Pay attention to this. Anything that will turn your dependence from God to yourself. Troubles have a way of turning our dependence, and that's what Paul's concern was. Troubles have a way of turning our dependence away from God to self. He said he sent Timothy down to see what's happening with them, to keep them from being shaken by the troubles that they were going through. He said, but you know that we are destined for such trouble. You know that this is going to happen, he's saying. Trouble is inevitable, is what he's saying. Because Jesus said, listen, in this life you're going to have what? Trouble. In this life. Not just living as a human being, but living as a human being serving God. You will have trouble. From without and from within. Yeah? What does that mean? Hell. From the powers of the enemy, from Satan. Yeah? You're going to have trouble from him. Lots of it. And you're going to have trouble from your own self. Without and within. To keep you from, even while we were with you, we warn you that troubles will soon come. And they did. As you well know, troubles came. That is why when I could bear it no longer, I sent Timothy to find out whether your faith was still strong. To see if your faith was still strong. I was afraid that the tempter had gotten the best of you and that our work had been in vain or useless. See? Yeah. But now Timothy has returned, bringing us good news about your faith. And what? Your faith and what? Oh yeah, the two governing forces of the child of God. He says, Timothy has returned, bringing us good news about your faith and love. Those are the things, saints of God, that Satan goes after. He targets confusion among us instead of love. Yes? We're not maturing there. So we still operate like we used to. Doubt and unbelief and struggling and self-dependence instead of faith. And we are still struggling there. But we are it otherwise as a church. We're nice. Beautiful music, beautiful worship, beautiful word. But we're not in love with each other. We're saying it, but we lie. You look at how love is demonstrated. Okay. He says, and we want, let me go on. He reported that you always remember our visit with joy and that you want to see us as much as we want to see you. So we have been greatly encouraged in the midst of our troubles and suffering, dear brothers and sisters, because you have remained strong in what? You have remained strong in what? You have remained strong in your faith. You have remained strong in your faith. This is the emphasis, saints of God. It's the focus of the apostles to the churches. His concern was not if they can talk in tongues well and how long. Goodness gracious, my grandson said that one member of his church told him that, listen, I prayed today in tongues for over 2 hours. He said, have you can beat that? And I'm thinking, really? Look at where the emphasis is placed. How long you can speak in tongues? How long you can fast? Look at where the emphasis is placed. So you're talking in tongues for 5 hours. Huh? But you have not love. Do I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not love? Huh? We're not growing in love. We're not maturing in love. We're maturing in church. We're maturing in churchianity. In churchianity for years, but we ain't going anywhere. Look at the churches. We're still fighting against ourselves. We're competing with each other. We ain't going anywhere. And the prayer of Jesus Christ in the book of St. John, chapter 17, is, Father, as you and I are one, make them one. That's his heart's desire. We are taken up with who is doing it better and who look more pretty. No, that's silliness. And many of God's children are being gravitated to those things instead of having a passion to love your brother with the love of God, love your sister with the love. Instead of having a passion for this, how many of us really have a passion to love each other like Christ loved us? Really have a passion to love. Not just saying, I love you, man. Goodness gracious, I'm fed up of that. Having a true passion to love like Jesus loved. How many of us? How many of us can say that wholeheartedly? I truly love you. We're full of ourselves. We're full of ourselves. We are still dominated by the self nature, the I nature. We are full of ourselves. It has to be what I want, when I want, how I want, what please me. We're not thinking more highly of others than we think of ourselves. If we are far from that, you better than me? When? You good? You know where I come from? You can't be better than me. Oh, God, help us. In the church, I believe if Jesus was to come to earth today, he would not be among us. I believe he'll separate himself from a lot of this, what we call churchianity. He may go to Macknight or Orishtown to find some people to walk with again. Because we're full of ourselves and full of churchianity. That which he desires is not among us. In reality, it's just in a sham, a form, a facade. It's not in reality. We need to mature, saints of God. We need to mature. We need to get to the place where we're maturing as children of God. People, I can look and see there's a difference in you, man. Not how you dress. So you used to put on skinny jeans. And pickwick pants because those are what it is. But now you're wearing baggy breeches. Sure, you can hold in there. And you make you look holy. Really? Our emphasis is wrong. It's wrong. Let's find another scripture, please. Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Let's just find these scriptures. Maturing in faith. Maturing in faith. Faith. Listen, if our faith is to mature, it will be tested. You don't know how strong your faith is outside of testing. God's going to try your faith or allow your faith to be tried. He'll allow my faith to be tried. Look at what it says. Yeah, okay. Fear none of those things which thou shalt, what's the key word? Suffer. You know, that word keeps coming up all the time. I wonder if this, is that Old Testament or New Testament? New Testament, isn't it? Because see, from what I understand, no child of God today are supposed to suffer. If you're suffering in any form or fashion, you're not a child of God. Or if you are a child of God and you're suffering, Brother Simba, sin is in your life. So you need to go and get it fixed. You cannot be suffering as a child of God. No child of God is supposed to be suffering. No. Hear me, saints of God. I'm not trying to be funny. It's how we've been taught. But guess what? It's not true. It's a lie. Jesus said, as long as you're in this life, serving God, in this physical body, you will have trouble. And all through the pages of the book, the Apostles' epistles, we read in Thessalonians a while ago, you see suffering, testings. You can get on your job, huh? You can get in your house. Unfortunately, sad to say, you can get in church. The reality is it's going to happen.